Hi everyone, I hope you're doing really well. Today we're going to look at a crystal that I recently purchased. This is a crystal that I didn't have any of in my collection at all. It's incredibly beautiful, very unusual as well. So this is Dragon Fruit Quartz. So as you can see, I bought it in the Tower Obelisk format. Just give you a visual on all of the different angles. You can see there are inclusions all over this crystal, which very much make it look like the inside of a dragon fruit. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn a little bit more about this crystal. Like I say, it is a crystal that is new to me, so I'm still learning about it and learning to work with it. It has wonderful energy, I can tell you that much. And I've not actually cleansed it yet, so I'm actually going to show you how to cleanse it on today's video as well. So let's get started. So the first thing that I would say about this crystal is that it's a member of the quartz family, which means that it's a very potent healer. You could even consider this stone a master healer, as you would with a clear quartz, because there's a lot of clear quartz properties associated with this crystal. This crystal connects us to the crown chakra and also the heart chakra. The crown chakra for the lighter colours that we've got in this crystal, and for some of the properties that it has as well. So it really aids in meditation, which takes us to those higher chakras. It also can help us to connect with loved ones, and also with our spirit team and spirit guides. It can help with kind of multi-dimensional awareness, so you know, connecting with your star beings or energies that are passed down from the universe to us. It's a crystal that resonates particularly well with Virgo, which I am a Virgo, which I think is why I was so attracted to this crystal and why I've become quite obsessed with it quite quickly. So if you are a Virgo, it will work particularly well for you, but it will work amazingly for all star signs. What else can I tell you about this crystal? So in terms of the heart chakra, it can help us greatly with forgiveness. So whether you need to forgive yourself for something or whether you need to forgive a loved one, we can work with this crystal in the heart chakra space to help heal past traumas, past issues, and to release forgiveness and allow us to feel forgiveness and move forward. Let me see what else. Trust. Connected to the forgiveness, we have trust. So if you have trust issues, which are often connected to the heart chakra, then this is a great crystal to work with. It will allow you to, again, heal those past issues that have perhaps led to you not feeling that you are able to trust people, or even that you're able to trust yourself. So that can really help if those are particular issues that you are holding on to in that area. In terms of, you know, I said how it is somewhat of a master healer, just like clear quartz. So also like clear quartz, it is an energy amplifier. Now, interestingly with this one, it can be used to amplify the energies of things like acupuncture, acupressure, and to an extent I would also argue Reiki, because it's going to clear those chakras, and it's also going to, you know, clear the aura and all kind of energies connected to the energetic spaces in our body and the spiritual energy centers. It can bring a lot of healing into the body and a lot of balance, and also into the environment as well. So, you know, it can bring about a lot of calm. One thing I would say, and it may not be connected to this because I haven't delved enough into working with this crystal yet, but since this crystal arrived, along with a few others to be fair, so it might not be this one, but this is probably the most potent out of the three. I have had difficulty sleeping, So bear that in mind. You know, some people say the same about clear quartz. It's not the best one to have around when you're sleeping. I've personally not had any issues, but since this one came, I have had some issues with sleeping. I've not tested it enough, but it's just something to potentially be aware of. Let me see, what else have we got? If you're doing any sort of spiritual work, you're on any sort of spiritual journey, then you know this is a great crystal for you to work with. For some of the reasons that I mentioned already, you know, with it connecting with the crown chakra and allowing us to connect with spirit, connect with higher beings. So it's a great one to work with if you're on any sort of journey. Use it for your meditations as well. You know, you can just meditate with it generally and understand how it works, understand how it makes you feel, or you can do a crown chakra or a heart chakra meditation with this particular crystal. I think that's probably the main things that I wanted to go over for this today. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, the crown chakra is going to be your primary. You can also work with it with the third eye because they're very closely connected anyway, and the heart chakra. So now I'm going to show you how I go about cleansing this. There are two methods usually. There are lots of different methods that you can use for cleansing, and if you have a look on my website, I cover a lot of those. But specifically for quartz, well, for most of my crystals, I tend to do two particular methods, but being quartz, there's lots of different things that you can do, so just find what works for you. So my two main methods that I like to work with are to use smoke to cleanse my crystals, but I have a little bit of a sore throat today, so I'm not going to do any smoking. I'm not going to sage, or so I tend to use sage or incense, something like dragon's blood. It's quite nice for cleansing. Or I make my own rosemary bundles, so I'll use rosemary or lavender. They're all very cleansing herbs, and they're great for crystals, but I don't feel like having that smoke inhalation today, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cleanse using clear quartz instead. Now, this is not a crystal that is going to need a ton of cleansing, in my opinion. I cleanse all my crystals, even my clear quartz. And even though that is a self-cleansing crystal, I just feel it deserves the same love, respect and care as all of my other crystals. So I would say the same with this one. You know, it is not going to need the same level of attention as maybe some other crystals that you might have in your collection, but I still think it is, you know, worthwhile to treat it with that same kind of care and attention. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a chunk of clear quartz. There are a few ways you can do this, so I do it with quartz or with satin spar. My satin spar charging plate, which I'll show you in another video, is preoccupied looking after some other crystals, so I'm not going to use that today. So I'm instead going to use just a nice chunk of clear quartz. Now, different ways you can do this. If I was using my charging plate, I would just plant this on the charging plate and I'd leave it for maybe a day or two. A couple of hours will suffice, but I usually leave it for a day or two just to cleanse itself. Then I would look to recharge it under the full moon and then set my intentions to work with the crystal. But today we're going to use this. Now again, I could just balance and leave them together for a number of hours until I feel, and you'll know when you feel that it is sufficiently cleansed. But another method that I like to do is I kind of call this like the wrapping method, and this is similar to what I do when I smoke a crystal as well. I'll kind of wrap the smoke around, but this is also what I like to do with my quartz. So I'm just going to slowly move my clear quartz all around this crystal. And as I'm doing this, I'm just envisioning that all unwanted energies are just being removed and absorbed into this crystal, which can then deal with it and disperse it into the universe. So you want to get every single surface. You might even feel, so as I'm doing this, I can feel kind of energy. If I do that, I can feel energy between the two crystals. So all of the unwanted energy where this has been handled, you know, by the seller, by the shipping companies, everything that this crystal has been through, and all of the energies that I don't want to bring into my work are just being removed. Now what I will probably do next is I will just leave these to sit together for a little while until I feel that the cleansing is sufficiently done. I mean, that did feel quite transformative anyway, but I will just leave them together to continue their work throughout the afternoon, and then, like I say, I would look to recharge this under the full moon, but that doesn't mean I can't start working with it anyway. So I'll set my intentions, and for the purposes of this crystal, I'm probably going to be working with some issues within the heart space. Once those are complete, I will cleanse it again, and then I'll probably use it for my spiritual work. But I think that's where I'm going to begin with this particular crystal. So I'll hold it in my hand. I will kind of go into a bit of a meditative state, and I will kind of talk about the things that I want to achieve with this crystal this time around. So yeah, that's an introduction to Dragon Fruit Quartz. I hope you love it as much as I do. This wasn't an expensive crystal at all. Surprisingly, this was £5 or £6, I think. I bought it from a company called Mava Crystals, but I just had a quick look on eBay as well, and you can get a tumble stone for £1.50, £2, so it's not an expensive crystal at all, but it's not one that you're going to see popping up all the time like you'd see your clear quartz and your rose quartz. So yeah, there we go. That's today's crystal. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like and a follow, and I will be back with more crystal content soon.